Good morning, children. So today we are going to discuss agriculture in India. Lesson number 6 in paper 1. Okay. So before going to the topic, we have some words, keywords, very important keywords, meaning and explanation is there. Why? Because when we are going through the lesson, so at that time if you have such particular word, what is the meaning of that? So it will be stuck again there. So we have to clarify all these meanings and then we'll go to the lesson. So what are the keywords? Important keywords are agriculture, modern farming activities, foreign trade policy, dry land agriculture, commercial farming, plantation, rabi crops, kharif crops, staple food, molasses, oil seeds, beverage crops, horticulture crops, non-food crops, food crops, fiber crops, industrial crops, green revolution, chemical fertilizers, environmental imbalances and organic material. So first we will talk about the agriculture. What is agriculture? Actually, the cultivation of land in order to grow crops or raise animal livestock. Generally in India, before independence onwards, there is a primary sector. The prime sector, 99.9% people are, their occupation is agriculture. So when that agriculture, the cultivation of land in order to grow crops or raise animal livestock or food, or it should be a useful product. Either it is a wood, cotton or anything. So some land is cultivating by the people, then it is called agriculture for useful products. Okay, and that's why we can call it as a primary sector. In Indian economy, we have three sectors are there. Okay, so what is the prime sector? Then what are the three sectors? Primary sector, agriculture, that is agriculture primary or agriculture sector, and secondary sector, that is called industrial sector, and third is tertiary, that is service sector. So Indian economy is based on these three sectors. So before that, actually it is a old practice. Old practice in India is the primary sector only, that is agriculture. Okay. Then after that it will be slowly shifting to secondary sector and then tertiary sector. Nowadays after getting independence of 70 years. But before independence, the oldest occupation is the primary sector. Okay, then modern farming activities. What are these modern farming activities? Generally, the farming practices, generally in our people, traditionally they used old practices. But after that, they want a much yield because the population is increasing day by day, their needs are increasing. So such a time, we need a lot of production. So for that production, we have modern farming activities are started. So what are the modern farming practices? In the during the farming, they are using like big tractors, chemical fertilizers, pesticides, insecticides, and all technology. They are all using in a larger area than it is called modern farming activities. Next is foreign trade policy. What is meant by foreign trade policy? The policy that decides how to do trading with the foreign countries. Okay, foreign trade means the policy which used for how to do trading with the other countries. That is called foreign trade policy. Next, dry land agriculture. What is this dry land agriculture? Generally, in everywhere the soil, all the soils are not evenly or equally and good soils, and water facility will not be available. So, in some areas, dry land agriculture is also there. That means with the less water, whatever the crops can grow in that particular land is called dry land agriculture. Next is the commercial farming. What is meant by commercial farming? Generally, farming in older practices of farming, they will be doing for their purpose, for their home purpose, or for a domestic, for only for a few bags they will eat, and the other, for example, for paddy or wheat and all. So for sufficient for their family for throughout the year, or they can sell it for a few more bags, whatever left over, that will be selling outside. But here the commercial farming is that farming mostly for gaining, to gain the profits. To gain the profits only this farming will be doing. That is commercial farming. So how we'll say the farming activity done for gaining a profit. One particular profit they need. For that only they will be doing that commercial farming. And next is plantation. What's the plantation? A larger area, with a larger area, one crop only they will be cultivating, and a larger area. So that maybe that is a coffee or tea, okay, tea or coffee or tobacco or sugarcane plantation, sugarcane beets, like that. In a big large area they will be cultivating one product. Next, rabi crops. The rabi crops are particularly in a spring season. In spring season, it will be cultivating rabi crops, and that is winter season. Spring means in the winter crop. We can call it as a winter crop also. And kharif crops. Kharif crops is autumn season crops, and we can call it as a monsoon crops and seasonal crops also. This is wheat they will be producing in kharif season. Then what is staple food? What is meant by a staple food? Staple food is a food that is eaten regularly in a frequent intervals. And most of from that food only will get energy and nutrients. That is called staple food. Generally, for example, you see in the South India, what is their staple food? We can call it as, we'll say it is rice, isn't it? For North India, what is the staple food? It is wheat. It depends on the areas, the staple food will be different. So without rice, the South Indians cannot survive. In 2 times, at least 3 times also, sometimes they need rice. And in the North Indian people and all, they will take wheat. That is a staple food for them. That means they take it in a larger quantity, in a few few intervals, and that will be getting more energy and nutrients will get from that food only, that diet. So their diet pattern that is. And next is molasses. What is meant by molasses? The molasses dark thick syrup produced during the refining of sugar. When the sugar production is going on, so such time what they do, it will be a release from that during the production of sugar, the thick syrup will come out with even with some gases also will come out. That is called molasses. A thick syrup will come out. Okay, and you know how the sugar cane plantation will be here, and with that they will be processing that. They will make sugar juice, sugar cane juice, and that juice will be converting in the industry. That's why it is called agro-based industry. It is agro-based because this sugar industry, how it will be flourished? When the sugar industry will be flourished only with the sugar cane plantation. Okay, when the sugarcane plantations are many more, then what happens? It depends. That is, the agriculture the industry depends on that agriculture. That's why the sugar, tobacco, and cotton, these are all agro-based industries. That means the industries are based on the agriculture. Because the raw material from where they will get from agriculture only. For example, cotton, you take tobacco, the turmeric, coffee, tea, these are all comes under agro-based industries. That means those industries which are based on these agriculture products. Next is oil seeds. Whatever the seeds which obtain, what are oil seeds are generally oil seeds which are cultivated mainly for the purpose of extracting oil or for some industrial purpose. These oil seeds, sunflower oil, groundnut oil, okay, groundnut oil, sunflower oil, sesame oil, there are many oils and oil seeds are there. And beverage crops. What are these beverage crops? These crops will bring that crops So what are the drinking crops? Tell me. What are the drinking crops we can have? The beverage crops are cultivated to be consumed in the form of liquid. So what are the beverage crops? What crops will take as a liquid? What? Just simply tea and coffee. Tea and coffee plantations. These are all. These coffee seeds will extract, and with that will take decoction and will drink. So that is coffee, and even tea leaves. So tea plantation in Assam and Karnataka, you see a lot of tea plantation in mountain regions. So there the big land, the large land will be cultivated with the tea and coffee, beverage crops. So these are called beverage crops because it is consumed in a liquid form will be consuming these crops. Okay, tea leaves will extract and will preserve, will mix preservatives and use the tea and coffee also. Coffee with the seeds. With that seeds only they will be producing coffee. Okay, so these are coffee and tea. These are all comes under beverage crops. Next, horticulture crops. So what are meant by What is meant by horticulture crops? These crops which consist of fruits and vegetables. These consist of fruits and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables when we are growing in many more areas, so they are all comes under horticrops. And non-food crops. What are the non-food crops? That is those crops which are not for eating purpose. And what are such crops will be there? So non-food crops are, what are such crops, tell me? Cotton. If you take cotton, the cotton is not food crop, isn't it? You take turmeric, tobacco, it is not a food crop. Okay, and even jute also it is not comes under a food crop. So these are all commercial crops and non-food crops. And you know what are food crops? Food crops are those which consume food. The output will come as a food like wheat, ragi, pulses, cereals, and all these things comes under food crops. Okay. Next comes to the fiber crops. What are meant by fiber crops? Fiber crops are particularly it will get fiber. So what is fiber? Like cotton, jute. These are all comes under fiber crops. Okay, it obtains fiber. And next is industrial crops. Just now I said about the industrial crops. Industrial crops are nothing but agro-based crops. Okay, agro-based crops. So what are these industrial crops? Many more. Sugar cane, cotton, okay, and jute, tobacco, turmeric, paper, gum, rubber. These are all comes under industrial crops only. That means whatever the products, how that industries will fetch it with based on agriculture. Based on agriculture only that industries will run. Based on agriculture. So what are the agriculture products? Those are cotton, turmeric, rubber, gum, paper. But paper, gum and rubber, these are all comes under forest-based industries. But mainly they are considered forest-based. Okay, from the forest, because a large quantity we have to get. So for that forest-based industries, and even that those are also industrial crops. So whatever how the industries will run based on these agriculture products. So these are all interlinked. Both are interlinked. When the agriculture products are good, then the industrial crop. These industrial crops will run. So what are that? These are all agro-based industries. That means the industries which are based on agriculture, those are called industrial crops or agro-based industries, we can say. Next is green revolution. What is meant by green revolution? Actually, a series of research, development and technology. A series of research and development and technology initially transforms between 1950 to 1970. Between 1950 to 1970. So such a time, between 1950 to 1970, there is a lot of revolution in raising the crops. So why? Because at that time the population is increasing, their needs are increasing. Once upon a time we were just only think about the man-made products, but after that we need machine products because man-made products are not sufficient to the people. So machine and the machine, so weaving a saree in 1 week by a human being, that the same thing in the 1 week time the machine can do 700 or 800 sarees, isn't it? So that means if we need a lot of production, we have to depend on the machines, isn't it? Like that, even the green revolution also, at the same time we need a lot of food. So such a time we have to use, you have to make something to get more output, more yield. For that reason, between 1950 to 1970, there was a transformation of completely series of research, development and technology. Development, technology, research, everything used, taken initiative from 50 onwards, 1970. There was a lot of crops were raised using large areas, using cultivation with HYV seeds. I said high yielding variety of seeds, HYV seeds, and a lot of chemical fertilizers, pesticides, okay, and good seeds, HYV seeds, and using irrigational facilities for that particular lands, and whichever lands are good for such a suit for some type of crops, those crops are raising, and yearly 2 or 3 crops they are raising from same land. Like that, they made a lot of revolution have taken place. That is called Green Revolution. It was happened between 1950 to 1970. It is a more thing it has happened. Next is environmental imbalance. What is environmental imbalance? The trouble that are happening to the environment due to the activities of human, isn't it? Whatever the trouble happened to the environment, so that means how we are damaging the environment. Okay, so when we are damaging the environment, then what is the result? We can face the human, particularly human involvement is more in this environmental imbalance, because we extracted a lot of natural resources from the earth, down the earth, from the air, from the rivers, everything. Lot of extraction was taken place. Because of that environmental imbalance, and we are against the nature, and we are doing the things. We are cutting the forest, deforestation is taking place, and we are cutting the trees everywhere. And a lot of digging more mines and extracting mines from the deep of the earth, and because of these it linked up so many things, and because of the deforestation many forest cover area is decreasing. Okay, lot of things are happening, and the environment is getting imbalanced. When the environment is getting imbalanced, what happens? It will affect, the result will be for the human being, because of the human only. Now human is only suffering with that imbalance. Okay, that is environmental imbalance. That means a reckless exploitation of the human being. Reckless exploitation of the human being. Okay, children. Next is, after environmental imbalance, there is an organic material. What is organic material? Material from a living source that contains carbon, hydrogen, oxygen mainly. Organic material means everything, whatever we are doing. See, here in the generally what we have done is, we are using pesticides, we are using chemical fertilizers and all. So, but not using all those things in a traditional manner, if you cultivate the things, and organic materials we can use, and we can get a good product without chemicals and fertilizers and all. Okay, these are the important keywords, and we after this I'll give a big flow chart around all the lesson. We can cover it with that flow chart, children, and I hope everyone understood this lesson. Thank you. Have a nice day.